apology that reached the Guthrie family. It said that Nancy had gone to be with God, that she had suffered a sudden and fatal heart emergency, that the people responsible were sorry, that things had not gone as they had planned. Imagine, if you will, what that moment must have felt like. After 4 long, heartbreaking months of hoping, praying, and waiting for any sign of life, her children opened a letter that essentially told them their dear mother was gone. A mother who had raised them, loved them, and lived with quiet dignity for 84 years. How does a family even begin to heal from words like that? While the FBI was still carefully examining that letter with great care, 2 very significant developments occurred almost at the same time. And together, they changed the entire course of this investigation. On June 10, 2026, authorities in Pima County officially reclassified Nancy's case. It is no longer being treated as a missing persons investigation or an active kidnapping with hope of rescue. It is now a full homicide investigation without a body. And in that same difficult week, a respected blockchain security company, CertiK, valued at more than $2 billion, took a bold step. They formally classified this case as a proxy wrench attack. 134 days have passed. Still no body, still no arrests. But now we have this sorrowful letter and a powerful company willing to put its reputation on the line. So the important question we must ask is, what exactly is a proxy wrench attack? Let me explain it in a gentle, clear way. A regular wrench attack is already a frightening new kind of crime. Criminals no longer try only to hack computers. Instead, they use violence or serious threats to force someone to give up their cryptocurrency. The name comes from an old comic that suggested, if you can't break the digital security, just use a simple $5 wrench to force the person to reveal their password. A proxy wrench attack, however, is even more calculated and heartbreaking. The criminals do not target the wealthy person who owns large amounts of cryptocurrency directly, because those individuals often have strong protection. Instead, they deliberately choose a more vulnerable family member, usually an elderly parent or grandparent, hoping to break the family's spirit and force them to pay a large ransom. In Dear Nancy's case, an 84-year-old woman who lived independently with a pacemaker, she unfortunately matched the profile of a proxy target very closely. CertiK believes she may have been taken specifically to pressure her successful children, possibly demanding millions of dollars in Bitcoin. Their latest 2026 report shows these attacks have increased by 41% in just the first 4 months of this year, with losses already surpassing $100 million. When a company of this stature publicly identifies a specific case like Nancy's, it is a serious statement. This is why this news feels particularly heavy. It suggests we may be facing a new and deeply personal kind of crime, one that targets the most vulnerable members of our families, the ones we want most to protect. Now, let us speak about where the investigation stands today, with honesty and respect. The case has officially become a no-body homicide investigation. DiBiase, a highly experienced prosecutor who has dedicated more than 20 years to cases exactly like this, has stated that this case has sufficient evidence to potentially go to trial, even if Nancy's remains are never recovered. We have security footage clearly showing the suspect watching and studying the house several days before the incident. We have unidentified DNA that continues to be analyzed at the FBI laboratory in Quantico. We have the painful apology letter, and if any payment was made, we have the permanent trail on the blockchain that cannot be erased. There are, of course, still challenges, particularly the fact that searches with cadaver dogs were stopped after only 5 weeks. But even with these difficulties, hope has not been lost. Savannah and her family continue their quiet, determined fight. They have brought in private investigators. More than 50,000 tips have been received, and scientific analysis keeps moving forward every day. One thing we know with certainty, Nancy fought bravely on her own porch that terrible night. The blood found there tells us she did not simply disappear without resistance. If you have any information that might help, no matter how small it may seem, please consider coming forward. You may contact the FBI at 1-800-225-5324, the Pima County Sheriff's Department at 520-359, 4900 or the anonymous tip line, 88-CRIME at 520-882-7463. The reward remains more than $1.2 million. Before I close today, I want to speak to you softly from the heart. Thank you, dear friends, for staying with me until the end. Thank you for caring about Nancy's story. In these difficult times, it warms my heart to see so many good people still holding space for her in their thoughts and prayers. Nancy was more than a news story. She was a loving mother who raised her children with care. She was a proud grandmother who should have been able to enjoy her later years in peace. She was a woman of quiet strength, faith, and dignity who deserved to leave this world gently, surrounded by love in her own home. Her story reminds us all how precious our elderly parents and grandparents truly are. It calls us to be more attentive, more loving, and more protective of those who once protected us. Let me know gently in the comments how you are feeling after hearing this update. Does the thought of proxy wrench attacks concern you for your own family? Do you believe justice can still be served for Nancy, even without her body being found? I read every comment with care. Please take very good care of yourselves and your loved ones. Hold them close. Tell them how much they mean to you while you still can. I'll see you again in the next video. God bless you.